Good morning. Welcome to video 2 of Sand Jack. Today we're going to start on the sanding, and then we're going to try to get this thing completed today. I think we can do it. So if you would, stick around. We'll be right back. Yep, it's just like the intro said, sawdust makes me happy. As you can see, we have removed the masking tape around. You can see where we had it masked off, and I did apply clear coat in this area where the masking tape was, so that's going to help us sand this off without a whole lot of bleeding, hopefully. I'm going to start out with a DeWalt. It's the DWE 6401DS. This is a disc sander. It's not a random orbital. You cannot lay this flat down on the ground or on the surface like you can a random orbital sander, which I'll be using in a minute. This one you have to work on the edge. It might look like I'm running this thing almost flat, but trust me, one side or the other is picked up so that we're not running it directly down flat on the ground. Otherwise, it'll dig into the wood and take off on you and cause lots of damage. So here we go. I gotta get a cleaning disc. Hang on, I'll be right back. And we're gonna probably go through several discs. So I picked up a couple more discs. Let me change this one out. And well, here we go. Alright, now we're going to come back with the random orbital. We'll put another 80 grit on this one, and we'll kind of smooth things out, and we'll get it blended in better. Here we go. Alright, now we're going to change it up to a 120 grit. Here we go.
Stop.
All right, let's blow it off. We've got a little more touch up to do because I had to go sand down a little bit deeper. I'm going to sand some more, and I'm going to get this out of here, get the bleeding out as best I can. And but we've got a lot more sanding to do. We're going to take this all the way up to 220 grits, so we've got a few more grits to go through. I'm not going to film doing all the rest of the sanding, but when I come back, I'll have the sanding done, and I'll remove all the bleeding that we can, and we'll proceed on. So we'll be right back. During the sanding, to get the bleeding out as best I could, I had to take this down a little more than I wanted to, so I had to go back and re-accomplish the texture background in the word college. And when I get through with my next process, I'm going to be cutting some scallops in the edges. Those will get painted blue, and when I do, I'll touch all this up. So, that being said, what I'm going to start out with is a 45-degree bevel. And I'm going to do some plunge cuts directly into it, and those are going to give me the notches that I'm looking for. I'll do a plunge cut, and I'll check the width of it, see what it looks like. I may end up having to adjust the depth on it a little bit. So here we go. We'll give it a whirl. All right, and this is the beveled edge look that my customer was looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and touch this up, do a little finish sanding off camera, get it dressed up and cleaned up, and then we'll get it ready to paint. So when I come back, we'll be putting the blue paint on the edges and touching up the word college. Be right back. Well, I masked it off real well, and then I shot the blue paint all the way around. My brain wasn't engaged, so I didn't film shooting the paint, but you know, shooting the paint is shooting the paint. Anyway, we're gonna let this dry, and when we come back we'll sand it all off and see what we got to finish up the touch up on the word college inside, and then we'll be good to go. So we'll be right back. All right, let's unwrap the Christmas present. See what we got. Alright, let's take that one off. Come on, there we go. Alright, not too bad. Not too bad. So, sorry, my neighbors are still working on their house. Alright, so when I come back, we're going to go ahead and start sanding and cleaning up around the edges. We'll be right back. Alright, we're going to try to remove the edging right around here. And I don't know if this, I think this is 180. Yeah, this is 180 grit. I may have to change my grit, but we'll see how. We're going to give it a whirl. Here we go. Alright, now we're going to switch over and try a little bit of hand sanding and try to kind of smooth things out. The problem with pine is you get bleeding. I don't care what you do, you cannot stop it, and it's hard to get out sometimes, but I'll do my best to get it out best I can. Alright, I'm going to continue sanding by hand, and when I come back we'll be working on cleaning up around the bottom edges down here, and so hang on, we'll be right back. Alright, well, there it is. I've got some more sanding to do around the C and the O on college. A little bit of sanding. I gotta let that paint dry, and then I'll get that sanded down, and then the next step after that will be applying the Halcyon, and that's going to make those grains really pop. So stick around, I'll be right back. Alright, we're going to go ahead and shoot the Halcyon. The Halcyon goes on milky white, but it dries very nice and clear and sharp. It's going to really enhance the grain. So here we go. Alright, we'll let that dry for a little bit, and we'll come back and we'll put the second coat on. Alright, what you're looking at is the sign 2 coats of the Halcyon applied to it. After this one dries, I'll do a light sanding on it, clean it off real good, and then apply a 3rd coat to it. And then when the 3rd coat dries, I'll do a light sanding, and I'll apply the 4th coat, and then we will be done. And it's going to look really, really good. It doesn't show up real good in the camera right now, but this has got a really nice glossy finish to it already. So that's the reason I really love the Halcyon. It is such a good product. So anyway, I'll be right back. All right, we'll go ahead and wrap up Sand Jack. This one was a really fun one to do. I'm really pleased with the way this one has turned out. We got some bleeding of the
the blue into to the pine, but that's just the nature of pine. I tried to eliminate that as best I can. But all in all, I'm really pleased with the way this one turned out. This has got, right now, it's just got 2 coats of a halcyon on it. I'm going to get these 3rd and 4th coats applied tonight, and then we'll let this thing cure for a couple of days, and then I will meet with my customer early part of next week and get this delivered. So I want to thank everyone who's followed me along the way, and been a quick little 2 video series, but it's been a fun one to do. So again, I want to thank everyone for the compliments and comments I have received, and appreciate you liking and following my channel. So until my next project, please hug all your family and friends. Let them know you love them, and God bless.